Hey, good evening. How you doing? My name's Kelly. Welcome back to my channel. So I've been doing comparison videos here recently, and I started off last week comparing my Victory Crossroads to the Heritage Softail. Heritage Softail was the first bike that I was going to purchase, and I ended up turning it down in favor of the Victory for mainly lack of features and pricing. In this video, I'm going to look at a bike that I didn't even know existed until I saw this video from YouTuber Spite on his channel Spite's Corner. I'll have a link to this video in the description down below. Moto Guzzi, I'm talking about the Moto Guzzi California. But before we look at the bike, a brief introduction from Wikipedia is follows. Moto Guzzi is an Italian motorcycle manufacturer and the oldest European manufacturer in continuous motorcycle production. It rose to prominence worldwide in motorcycle racing and industry innovations, such as the first motorcycle center stand. Since 2004, Moto Guzzi has been owned by the Piaggio Group, Europe's largest motorcycle manufacturer and world's fourth largest by unit sales. I need to add something here. Because this is Wikipedia, I decided to check on that stat. And so I went to a place called rankred.com. And as of February 1st, 2025, according to these guys, the Piaggio Group was listed number 10 in sales per unit. So that's a far cry from number 4 Wikipedia. Let's kind of get that together. And then lastly, as you'll see in the upcoming images, the motorcycle is powered by a 90-degree transversely mounted V-twin. This gives the Moto Guzzi a very distinct look, with the heads peeking out from either side of the motorcycle. So what that means is, with the regular, V-twin, the motor is going to be like that, in line with the frame. With the Moto Guzzi, the motor is actually going to be like this. So the tires and everything are like that. The heads are going to be sticking out from the sides of the bike. And with that, let's go ahead and run through the stats just like I did last week. I won't do a complete comparison with the Victory. I do, however, still have my notes from that, and I'll just kind of verbalize what the differences are as I need to. So, coming up on the screen now is the stats for the Moto Guzzi Touring. Back in 2013-2014, they cost $17,990. Has a 1380 cc or motor, which translates to roughly 84 cubic inches. 92 horsepower and 88 foot-pounds of torque, and is an air-oiled cooled engine. Comparing that to the Victory Crossroads, it's almost the same price as the Victory Crossroads in 2013. The big difference here is that we're talking a 106 cubic inch Freedom versus the 84 cubic inch of the Moto Guzzi. But the Moto Guzzi puts out more horsepower by about 4, but has a lot less torque than the Victory, 88 foot-pounds of torque versus the 105. They both have 6-speed transmissions. The Moto Guzzi has a heel-toe shifter, and this is where one of the bigger differences is. The Victory Crossroads is belt-driven, whereas the Moto Guzzi is shaft-driven. The braking is a little bit different, not much. The Victory Crossroads had 11.8 inch dual disc brake up front. The Moto Guzzi has 12.6, and then 11 inch rear disc brake in the back end, whereas the Victory Crossroads had the same size disc, 11.8 in the back. Both bikes come with ABS standard. The Victory Crossroads pulls ahead in storage. It had 21.3 gallons of storage, whereas the Moto Guzzi has 15.8 gallons. Their gas tanks are almost similar, 5.8 for the Victory and 5.4 for the Moto Guzzi. And the weight is where Moto Guzzi kind of pulls ahead. It's 710 pounds dry, 742 pounds wet. That puts it just a little bit lighter than the Heritage Softail and quite a bit lighter than the Victory. The Victory, again, has an estimated weight because I couldn't find solid numbers on the wet weight, but the dry weight was 772 pounds. So already dry outweighing the Moto Guzzi by 30 pounds. And then, like I said, an estimated wet weight, that sounds weird, of 815 pounds. So not, so something like, what is that? Yeah, it's quite a bit. 70 plus pounds more than the Moto Guzzi. So with that extra weight, it needs more of an engine and more torque to get it down the road. Moto Guzzi being lighter, they didn't feel the need to put a fatter engine in it. So with that, I'll start running, now that the specs are done, I'll start running some pictures across the screen. And the similarities of this bike compared to the Victory are staggering. I mean, but that's because it's the kind of bike that I was looking for, right? You have the 3-light setup up front. You have just a raw windshield. Both have floorboards. Both have front engine crash protection. Both have the saddlebag protection baked into it. But you see right away that what I mean by that transversely mounted engine. You see how the heads are poking out from under the gas tank and out to the sides. That gives this bike a very distinct look. And that's one of the biggest differences between this and the Victory. Also, this has the hardened color-matched saddlebags, whereas the Victory has opted for the more old-school look of the leather look with studs. And then the other thing that this bike has over the Victory is it does have traction control, and it does have 3 rider modes. And I do not believe the Victory Crossroads has rider modes or traction control. I think it's just ABS. So those are some of the similarities and some of the differences. Again, this bike to me is a beautiful bike. I love the way it looks. It's a very clean looking bike. And the fact that it's an Italian brand is awesome because I have Italian heritage. And so I kind of was like, wow, it'd be really cool to have an Italian bike. And that's one of the things that drew me to it. The other thing that drew me to it is you don't see these bikes. I have never seen a Moto Guzzi, any model, out in the wild at all. So it would be kind of cool to be the first in my state, I guess. I don't know. This first in my area anyway, to have a Moto Guzzi, or at least to have one that's riding. But so there's that kind of a bit of appeal. It's just a super unique bike, and not everyone has one. So in the end, why did I end up rejecting it? Well, I will show you, because there's 2 things here. As you can see, there's not a dealer in the state at all for me. The closest one is Kansas City, Missouri. That's 300 and some miles away. I mean, that's a day ride. If something happens and I need to get the bike to someplace, then I end up having to spend a whole day getting a trailer and all that stuff, right? The Victory, I have a dealership, an Indian dealership, just a little over an hour away from me. So I don't expect problems with my Victory, and I probably wouldn't expect problems with the Moto Guzzi. But if problems did exist, there's a huge gap in logistics in getting my Moto Guzzi to a certified mechanic versus my Victory. And the other thing is price. I'll pull one up here from Cycle Trader, and you can see that the price of this specific Moto Guzzi that would have my attention if I were to buy one is almost twice what my Victory cost. So, it simply comes down to logistics and economics in this bike. Definitely not a lack of features. It has everything that you could want. So anyway, that's how I ended up kicking the Moto Guzzi to the curb and sticking with the Victory. Anyways, this is, I hope, ended up being a brief video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understand my reasonings. And there won't be a ride video for a little while. Temperatures are dropping crazy fast outside. It's like 20 degrees right now. And we're supposed to get a bunch of snow between tonight, tomorrow, and Saturday. So won't be riding for a while. So I'll have another comparison video with another bike that I was looking at, and we'll just keep on plodding along until I can actually get out and ride again. Till then, thanks for dropping by. You all be good. Catch you later.